Mr. Bill, if you can call in the panel.
Right.
So
I think that's
the thing that I had down.
Y'all go ahead on and take y'all seats. I want y'all to stand up.
I'll do my Zoom again and show how to do
You may be seated. Let the record reflect that the court is back in session and calls number 327-957, case of style of state of Texas versus Pamela Neal. Let the record reflect that the defendant Pamela Neal is present with her attorney, Attorney John West, the state assistant district attorneys, or Blake Ham and Tommy Coleman. Let the record also reflect that the panel is present in the courtroom. State, are you ready?
State ready.
Defense, are you ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury panel, you'll now be in the hands of our court coordinator, Ms. Melanie Smith. Ms. Smith?
When I call your name, how do you want them to sit in the jury box? Anywhere or?
They have the chairs marked the bailiff and tell them what to say.
Okay, follow the bailiff. Axel Alvarez. Richard Holland. Daryl Bigelow. Anna Christian. Allison Wright. Robert Case. And Paul Richard.
State, do you have any objections to the
Objection.
defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I must administer to you the second matter, which is the oath of the jury. So I need each and every one of you to raise your right hand. And once I finish administering the oath, please say, "I do." Do you and each of you do solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Pamela Neal, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Members of the jury, I will give you some instructions and a general idea of what to expect in this case. Every case is composed of facts and the law as it applies to the particular case. The facts come from the witnesses on the witness stand. The law comes from the statutes, codes, rules, and court decision interpreting them and how they may apply to this case. You and I have equal authority in this case, but it is divided authority. You are the sole judges of the facts, and I am the sole judge of the law. You are the sole judges of the credibility of witnesses, and the weight to be given their testimony. You can believe all of what a witness says, part of what a witness says, or none of what a witness says. As the trial progresses, the attorneys will probably make objections to questions asked by the other attorney of witnesses, or objections to the introduction of documents or objects. This means that in the objecting attorney's opinion, there is a legal reason why the testimony or document or object should not be received by you. Sometimes I will simply sustain or overrule the objection. At other times, it may require a lengthy discussion outside of your presence. If that happens, I will either ask you to step outside for a few minutes or ask the attorneys to come up to the bench so that you can hear the discussion on the point of law. The reason for this, as I told you earlier, you are the sole judges of the facts you receive, and I am the sole judge of the law. I can't be with you in the jury room when you deliberate the facts. Therefore, you can't be present or within hearing when I deliberate questions of law. The reason why I will sometimes ask you to step outside is because it is simply the most efficient way to do it. Otherwise, if we were to leave the courtroom, the court reporter would have to gather her equipment and take it with her, and the attorneys would have to gather their files, etc. The rulings that I do make on questions of law in your presence are not evidence, and you are to disregard them. After all the evidence is in, and both the state and the defendant have rested their cases, the court will prepare and submit to you a written charge instructing you on the law in this case. We will then hear oral arguments from the attorneys. The attorneys have the right to make a summation of the evidence and to make reasonable deductions from the evidence. Since the state has the burden of proof, it has the right to open and close the summation or argument. Until you retire to deliberate, do not discuss this case amongst yourselves, and under no circumstances should you permit anyone to discuss the case with you. Do not attempt to learn from any source outside of the courtroom anything about the facts of the case, nor attempt any independent investigation on your own. Don't visit the scene involved in the facts of the case. Don't read any reports in the newspaper or watch TV reports about the case. Do not make up your mind about this case until all the evidence is in and you have been instructed on the law. Don't take notes during the progress of the trial. Don't visit other courts during a break if a trial or other proceeding is in progress. The bailiff have handed to you identification tags. Please wear those tags at all times. Ladies and gentlemen of the panel who was not selected on this jury, on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County and behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, I'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules. This will conclude your jury service. And normally I would give everyone a handshake, but under our COVID protocol, I will not be able to give you a handshake. However, I can give you an air handshake. So at this time, as I stated, you'll be in the hands of the jury. Thanks for taking time out from your busy schedules, and each and every one of you have a blessed day. You're now in the hands of our bailiff. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's late in the evening. And we will start this trial on tomorrow with the testimony, opening statements first. And if we have reading of the information, the opening statements, and we will start testimony on tomorrow. So at this time, we're gonna break for the evening. Make sure that you still have your badges and wear your badges when you come into the courthouse. When you come to the courtroom, you're gonna have a seat outside the courtroom. Now, we'll have to get each and every one of you back here tomorrow at 1:30. And the reason why we say 1:30 is because in the morning, starting at 9 a.m., we're gonna have several cases that we will be handling, and sometimes it goes into the afternoon. But we anticipate that we should be finished with those cases that we have in the morning. And so we would ask each and every one of you to be back tomorrow at 1:30. So at this time, you'll be in the hands of our bailiff, Mr. Charlie Porter. And everyone have a blessed day. Give it to him, okay. Yes, tell him, bailiff, he can give it to him.
Take it for him?
Yeah. Yeah, because they won't be there tomorrow. Okay, everyone may be seated. Let the record reflect that the jury is no longer in the courtroom. And at this time, the court will be in recess until 1:30 on tomorrow. Now, Miss Neil, make sure that you're here on time. A matter of fact, I'll tell you what, the lawyers, we need to have the lawyers here at 1 o'clock. Well, we need to have everyone here at 1 o'clock. The jury gets here at 1:30.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we'll be in recess.